Hello friends, welcome back to Life Lessons. Today I am going to tell you a great story that will help you a lot in life. This story tells that life is like changing seasons. This story also teaches us the importance of perspective. Once upon a time, there was a wise man who had 4 sons. He wanted to give all his knowledge to his sons so that they could become successful in their lives. Although he had taught them a lot, there was one thing that he thought he needed to teach his sons that he had not been able to teach up until now. He wanted to teach them that they should not judge things too quickly, and they should be able to understand other people's perspective. After a lot of thinking, he came up with a plan. He called one of his sons and told him to go and look at a pear tree that was a great distance away. His son went there, looked at the tree, and came back. The man asked him how the tree looked. His son replied that it was ugly, bent, and twisted. He wrote down his son's response on a paper and kept it in a safe place. A few months later, during the spring season, the man sent his son to look at the same pear tree. When his second son returned, he had asked him how the tree looked. The second son replied that the tree was covered with green buds and was full of promise. The man wrote down his second son's response on the same paper on which he had written his first son's response. Then, a few months later, during the summer season, he had sent his third son to look at the same tree. When the third son returned, he asked him how the tree looked. The third son replied that the tree was laden with blossoms that looked beautiful and smelled sweet. He described it as graceful and one of the most beautiful trees he had ever seen. The man wrote his third son's response on the same paper on which he had written the first and second son's response. Finally, after a few months during the autumn season, the man sent his fourth son to see the same tree. When the fourth son returned, he asked him how the tree looked. The fourth son replied that the tree was ripe and dropping with fruit. He described it as full of life and fulfillment. The man wrote down his fourth son's response on the same paper on which he had written the responses of his other sons. Then he called them all together and asked them to look at the paper to see how they described the tree. Each son called the other liars and told the father that they had actually gone there and it looked exactly as they had described it. This is when the father told them that none of them were lying. He told them that they had all seen the tree in a different season and they were all telling the truth. Then he told them that just like you cannot judge a tree by seeing it in one season, you cannot judge people by meeting them once or by their current circumstances. Life is a continuous journey of struggle. Sometimes you are up, and sometimes you are down. Sometimes you will find someone in great circumstances, and sometimes you may find them not doing so well. It is all a part of life. Don't judge a person by one difficult season, and don't get impressed by a good season that they may be having. He also told them that just like the tree went through various phases in those seasons, we also go through various phases in life, such as joy, grief, love, pain, wealth, and poverty. The important thing is to keep making progress and keep making the most of what we have. The seasons of life will keep changing and keep coming back one after the other. It is only at the end of our lives that we can really have the complete picture. So don't give up when it is winter and don't get carried away when it is spring. Friends, if you like this story, show your support by liking the video and sharing it with your friends. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories. Until next time.